Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakening at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Sorry about that. When yeah, when I moved things around, so I moved things around and cleaned everything. It was a major field day here yesterday where everything got moved out of the room. I did the Marine Corps way. You move everything out, clean the room, and then everything gets cleaned as it comes back in. So it was uh, a Chinese field day, as we call it in the Marine Corps. Um, but I did that. Computer got moved, all my settings. I had to reset them up last night, and this is the first time I'm really testing it to make sure. Oh, I just got my Rumble notification that we've started. I don't get YouTube notifications when we start. I don't know why. What about the space Latina? Trump promised us space Latinas. I am all about big booty space Latinas. Me and Slug, we're gonna go to Colombia. We're gonna pick up some of those big booty Colombian women. He's gonna translate for me. Uh, so now you guys can see the animals how they like to play in the morning. They like to play first thing in the morning and whenever I get on stream. And then at night, it's like when I lay down and it's like, okay, I'll be scrolling through and reading stuff. And then it's like, okay, now it's time. It's now time for me to actually go to sleep. I'll put my phone down and they're like, oh, time to play. Passport, passport bro era. Dude, I will absolutely, absolutely go to another country to find me a wife. Like these 40-year-old women, okay, here in this country who think that they can demand things. Like, I had one girl, she was like, well, I want a guy who's going to chase me. And I was like, good luck with that because I'm 45. My days of chasing women are over. Literally and figuratively. I got bad ankles and a bad back. I ain't chasing anyone. Um, like, and so many of these women, they do this girl boss shit, and it's like they I just want to be like they'll talk about paying their bills as if it's some type of flex. And it's like that's just being a person, being an adult. Like paying your bills is just like the basic shit that you have to do. Like you're congratulations, you're a basic human being. Now, but they act like that's some sort of achievement. I've been doing that shit since my 20s. Yeah, I ain't got the leg stability to chase. Yeah. And you know, some of these women are straight up delusional. They're like, I want a guy who's over 6 foot, who makes six figures. It's like you're a 40-year-old divorced woman with 2 kids, Tiffany. Ain't nobody chasing you, and they ain't gonna be 6 foot tall, and they ain't gonna be six figures. Like you might be able to find one of those, but you ain't finding both. Come on, no. You're better off going with the 5'6" guy who's been at the same job for 25 years. That's the guy who's going to give you the life that you really want. But see, they're still they're still believing that they're a princess because that's what their dad told them, and their dad fucking lied. All right, girl power, right? Like I gotta hear that shit. Like Connor, you're lucky you're married. Like I was a good husband. I really was a good husband because I really did put, uh my ex and my family first. Um and but nothing was ever good enough. So, you know, and then now I'm in the dating scene. And what's funny is I'll date women and they will break up with me and which is fine. No one has to be with me. I've had people cheat on me. Had people break up with me. That's fine. Just go your way. But here's one thing they do. They come back. They come back. And it's like, yeah, no, you burn that bridge. I'm not rebuilding it. Like I'll be nice. I won't be a dick or anything. I'll be nice. But I also have value in myself. Like like I've made it clear to some women. They're like, "Oh, why don't you come here?" And I'm like, "Look, I'm not dating you. Like, I'll come there. We can be friends. We can we can have a good time, but I'm not dating you." And yeah, it's amazing how delulu some of these women are. It's funny, TC. I had a woman last night who we went out. We talked for a while. We went out on a coffee date. She kind of like flaked off on me. That's fine. That's fine. But then reached back out to me last night. And dude, during COVID, when these women couldn't get to the bars and get their need for attention, refilled. Oh my God, my phone was blowing up. And I think a lot of it has to do with there's so many options out there nowadays. Like because of online dating, you don't have to go to a singles night at a bar. There's just options out there for everyone. And these women think that because you get attention from all these dudes that, that makes you an 8 or a 9. It's like, no, you need to understand every guy will give attention to a 4 if he's not getting attention somewhere else. That's just it's just a fact. And up here, I'm near a Marine base, so there's a lot of men like, and oh, they will be players. Um, you go become a gecko. She if she ever leaves, I'll make it real hard for her to live without me. Here's the thing. Do you know how great it is? Like for here's what these women don't understand. They're like, "Oh, he's gonna have a hard time finding somebody like me." Go to your kid's soccer game and look at the moms around there. There's a ton of single moms who are, they've been in the dating scene. They would love to treat a guy well who is good with kids. They would love it. So, um, for guys, there's like if I really like there's women out there who want to date me. They just have lives that I just don't want. I don't want to be a part of. Um, but yeah, I could find someone to date out here. I don't get me wrong. It's not a ideal situation. So I'm perfectly fine just going on being myself. You attract desperate women. Hey, that's because I'm attracted to low self-esteem. I find shooting fish in a barrel is easy. I do have to say we do have something that we're trying to do this morning. All jokes aside, we are trying to get on a serious note. Yoda has joined YouTube. Yoda and Miss Yoda, uh, and they're going to try to keep Uncle Frank's. Um, they're going to try to keep Uncle Frank's memory alive through the YouTube channel. Why is this not letting me? Oh, hold on here. Actually, can one of the mods, Georgie, can you put Yoda's channel in the chat? It's not coming up for me, and I do know we got him like 400 subscribers. I do know we did that yesterday, and that was primarily DJ Radis. He was going to all of us saying, "Hey, can you guys subscribe?" Um, Here is the Give Send Go. Okay, yeah, thank you, Georgie. Georgie's got it there. Um, so if you can go subscribe to Yoda's channel, him and Miss Yoda, they're newlyweds. They're happy. Yeah, they created this, so please go. And then this is to Uncle Frank's. Um, they've indicated they're not 100% sure yet, but they've indicated they want to keep taking the disabled children fishing the way that Uncle Frank did, which I think that's a really great way to keep his memory alive. Um, so that'll be a really good thing right there. So please go subscribe to Yoda. If you can give like $5 to the Give Send Go, we do appreciate it. We're up to 175. I put a modest goal of 1,500. I think we can raise that. Um, oh, it wasn't Tat, it was Squid. I'm sorry. Tat was the one who reached out to me. So Squid, thank you, Squid. Um, so we'll give credit where credit is due. But I just my phone was blowing up. I was at a meeting last night and not AA. I know what you're thinking. TC. Uh, I was at a meeting last night. My phone was blowing up, and it was all about this YouTube channel. So I'm really glad that they're figuring out what they want to do. They're gonna take AVA with them for the photo op. I mean, We don't own AVA wherever he wants to go. I've been telling AVA he needs to he needs to do more lives and stuff like that so we can boost his watch time. Don't get me wrong, watching his videos is great, but doing a live, especially if you have people like us promoting it for you, he will get his watch time. He just does. He's like, I don't know what to talk about, and I'm like, dude, talk about war stories. People love war stories. And speaking of war stories, I'm segue here. I've got a. I will not be live tomorrow morning, but I do have a video that's all set to go out, which is about a veteran who wrote a book and told some war stories, and is now under fire about some of those stories. Oh, you were thinking sexaholics? Yeah, I don't think that counts for solo sex. But yeah, now you guys can see the animals. Glory, she's over there. I see you. There we go. So yeah, have that, and then I have that expose, John German, that's going to be coming out. Why is there people within the not the anti what the hell's ecosphere, but within the what the hell's ecosphere? Why are people threatening each other? There's no reason for that. People who are doing that, knock it the hell off. You don't need to threaten people. There's more than enough content on this stuff to go around. I'll tease Georgie and Coop show later on today. They're going to be reading. There's a new motion. It's a motion that Bubbles filed. They're going to be reading that. Go watch them today. We didn't want to see the bedroom. I'm always in the bedroom. No, the desk used to be over there in that corner. See the door? So I just moved it this way. And I only did that because I was trying a different couple setups to see which way it would fit the best. So this is what I decided to go with. I might change it again. You got to go check the hens. Yeah, like watching the fleas, a bunch of clucking hens. Make sure you guys all check out Freedom Flock today. Definitely check out Freedom Flock. I do. I turn it on during the day. A lot of people were all emotional yesterday. Like I saw people talking about Pete Hegseth. Slug. Slug is funny. Uh, he makes me laugh. Uh, good morning. Good morning, Miss PJ. Are you on Rumble? No, not today. Oh, we got 4 people watching on Rumble. Welcome, all you Rumbleites. I don't know what you call them. Rumblers. Rough and rumblers instead of rough and tumblers. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff to the wall to see what sticks. Um, it's a good day here, Miss PJ. It's a very good day here. How dare you compare Freedom Flock to the fleas? Well, the Freedom Flock will eat fleas. So right there, they'll eat fleas and leeches. Um, I'm looking at. I was having a lot of fun with the Pete Hegseth stuff yesterday on Twitter. I went on a Twitter roll yesterday, and I got some attention for it, and I think that's why I tweeted something out this morning, and I think that's why I'm getting attention for that. Um, but I'm looking through to see what news stories there are. Here, I'll let you guys see my feed. I don't mind doing that. This is my law and nope, wrong one. This is my law or my legal eagles list that I follow. Someone else created it, and I love it. Um, every cancer-approved drug first begins middle. Okay. That's funny. The LA mayor. Yeah, she's God. Yeah, this is wrong. Censorship in professional science. Like science is supposed to be about calling each other out. It's supposed to be about debate. That's how it gets advanced. So yeah, uh censoring people is absolutely wrong. All right, I'm gonna repost that. Hats off to the Oklahoma senator that stood up for Pete. Yeah, I did see that. I don't know if I'm in the mood to read the stupid motion when others have already read it. Um, read it because I guarantee you there's people who haven't seen it, Georgie. Just because you're not first doesn't mean that your take on it can't be unique. That that's the thing. That's what gets me about all these people in the what the hells saying, "Well, I did this first." Okay, I'm doing it for my reaction and my take on it. You go ahead and do yours. People who think they own information, uh, it's because they don't have a unique view on it. They, you can't do that story because I did that story. Journalists do stories all day long, and we do each other's stories. And you never know, someone might have a different take on it or might spot something within the story that opens up a whole new thing. So if I were you, do the story. I don't have the document. That's why I'm not doing the story. If I had the motion, you bet I'd be doing it this morning. Now, with that, someone's going to send it to me. uh, but you know, if it gets sent to me, I'll do it later on. Um, some days I just do what's in the mood. Um, I one thing I like doing is I like giving. I like wargaming it and trying to give what I think is going to come because I noticed that's something that a lot of people lack is they don't do a very good job of like knowing what's coming of something, right? They haven't followed a lot of court cases. Squid, Squid and Megan, I would trust both of them. If they told me, yeah, this is what this is, they follow a lot of court cases. And even Squid, she's got flash ban and is like, he's better at this stuff than I am. I would trust them because they've seen enough court cases. You get a feel for how this stuff goes. Um, and as you're going to be much better at this stuff. You're going to look at this stuff and be like, oh yeah, yeah, that's complete and total bullshit. Um, yeah, we need 16 subs for Yoda. So everyone, please subscribe to Yoda. I see we got 55 people in here. So 14 of them are on Twitter. Please go and subscribe. I do appreciate it if you subscribe to Yoda. I've got a story coming out about John German and his accusations. You know, other people have done that story, and I'm sure those same people are going to have a problem with me doing the story. But I have my own DMs with him. Like no one else has those. I have my DMs with him. That's the bulk of my story right there. Is what is he saying publicly and privately? That is so much of my story right there. And other people don't have DMs. Like they're talking about his public posts, which they're not exactly the same, but you know, there's stuff that I have that they don't. So no one owns these stories. Um, I would say the only person who does is Jeremy Hales, who really does. But Jeremy, I believe, wants the world to know what's going on. That's why he's been appreciative of Megan, Tug, myself, DJ Radis, of telling, his story. And, we're all coming at it, me and DJ Radis less so, but we're all kind of coming from it as we've seen the evidence and we're like, yeah, Jeremy is the one who's ultimately right in this case. And, but we have taken a fair look at it. Uh, Bubbles and all them, they think that no one's taken a look at their side. And it's like, no, we've seen Lynette's side. She's just nuts. She is nuts. And everything that we see just piles onto that. All the stuff we're finding out about Northport now. And a lot of that stuff, me and DJ Radis and Melissa and I'm trying to think, there was a few of us early on. We started noticing early on this stuff. Like we knew about a lot of the Northport stuff. Did we we had seen it, but because it wasn't relevant to this case really, we really didn't, or at least I didn't dwell on it. But a lot of the stuff that you're seeing now, I can tell you DJ Radis knew. I know for a fact he knew. We had discussions about it. That's why I said, am I mad that other people picked up this story? No. Like I said, me and DJ Radis, I created my Facebook group in June of 2023. Michelle Lynette Preston, whatever the fuck you want to call her, she started doing her crazy stuff in May of 2023. And that's where these people started circling around. I posted the thing of Marla trying to tell me that Russ canceled the meeting because Jeremy's supporters flooded the meeting in April of 2023. Like it was all bullshit. And it got so crazy that that's where me and Radis, we started making groups for us to start coordinating and talking about this stuff because there was so much insanity. And neither of us it really envisioned that we were going to get the type of content that we have out of it. So there are people out there stating that, oh well, that person doesn't know. Okay. What you'll find is they are very late to the game and they're now trying to claim ownership over content. And sorry, this isn't your story. Be unique, bring a unique outlook on it, and you'll be fine. You know? Um, Imagine being Jeremy if he had not shared this train. Oh yeah, yeah. He would be still dealing with the thing. And quite honestly, he would be dealing with more of the mental aspects of it. I'm with you there, Georgie. I am 100% with you there. I'm not in Florida. I can only do so much. I will do whatever I can. Um, but yeah, good morning, all from frozen Colorado. Yeah, it's not frozen here. I'm actually hoping it does get to freezing because I've got my peach tree outside, and I do need some days of freezing cold for that. Exactly, Georgie. If Jeremy told me to stop with this story, I would. Honest to God, I would. I would still talk about it on Facebook and in some of these groups, but I would stop doing this. If he said, "Hey, it's gotten too much," I would honor those wishes. Um, Lynette wishes we would stop, but that's because she just wants her side out there. She wants to control the narrative. Like, if the fleas were talking about this and taking Lynette's side and not instigating people to do things to Jeremy, like mess with his whatnot auctions or mess with his day-to-day life and his ability to make money, I'm sure he'd be fine with people talking about it from Lynette's point of view. But they just can't exist, you know? I gotta send you a Texas hoodie. Ugh. No, thank you. We just beat Texas. You know what's one thing that's funny though? I don't hate Texas. I don't. I actually have a lot of respect for Texas and a lot of respect for Coach Sarkisian. I think he was the reason that Lane Kiffin was good for so many years because he had Sark right there as the quarterbacks coach. And in the military, I'd never really interacted with A&M fans. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate A&M fans, but they're all in the military and they all wear their freaking rings. They're a bit much. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, I'm like, but you're A&M. They're a bit much. I don't hate them, but I understand why Texas people don't like A&M. So Biden is gonna highlight his accomplishments. Here, I gotta be a smartass on this one. I have to be a smartass. I always do. Absolutely, absolutely. And I was kind of silent. Well, I wasn't silent, but I wasn't actively doing stuff about the child until Lloyd was thrust in there. But then again, I also that's where we really had third party confirmation. Lloyd was not. He's not a friend of Jeremy's. You know, I think he straight up avoided Jeremy for the longest time. But when Lloyd came forward with a lot of the stuff, that's when I was like, yeah, I have to do something about the child. God, Emperor Biden. I love that. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Here's the thing. I've actually got a friend of mine who's in Austin and wants me to go out there to go to uh, a Texas game. I would. I would. I'm Here's the thing. While I'm an Ohio State fan, my team is truly Toledo. I worked with the football team. I still know people with the program. I was born in the city. I'm still a Toledo fan through and through. I just haven't been back there in a long time. And Toledo normally, and this year they had a good team. They went to a bowl. Um, they won in I think it was fourth overtime. So I'm truly a Toledo fan. Uh, if Ohio, like I'll cheer for Ohio State and everything. If they lose, though, I can still go on with my day. My brothers, if Ohio State loses, do not call them, do not talk to them, just leave them alone. That like, yeah. And what's funny is University of Toledo used to go by UT as well. Uh, they are, but they're also not. They have independent duties, so they will work together, but they're each one has different limitations as what they can do. Like cops can come aboard your property. Like I know people are like they can't do it without a warrant. There is what they call exigent circumstances. So if they believe the child is in immediate danger, they can come aboard the property. Social workers, um, not so much. They can report it to law enforcement who can then come, but not so much. And yeah, CPS and social workers are the same. Um, Hospitals, no, hospitals are different. Most hospitals are not run by government here. There are some, but not many anymore. It used to be a big thing. It used to be hospitals were run by government and churches. Now they're all run by health insurers because the health insurance was getting too expensive. The health insurance companies just bought the hospitals because that was how they got all the insurance anyway. So I would say 80 to 90% of hospitals are owned by a health insurer. That's really where the most expensive health insurance is. It's not with me. It's with doctors. Doctors pay way more for health to be insured because they're the ones who get sued. My sister likes the Aggies. I don't. What's your team, Magic Angel? What can be done to bring her to justice? We're doing it. We're doing it. Um, if people want to start doing more protests in Otter Creek, that would help. Like active protests of CPS would help. Uh, I've done my letter writing campaigns and stuff like that. Sadly, that's about all I can do. Like I would need to be on the ground. Do you need a permit in Florida to protest? No. Okay, it depends on where you're at. You can for protesting, it's First Amendment protected. So you only have time, place, and manner restrictions. Meaning like you can't protest at 2 a.m. Okay, you can daylight hours. They can restrict you to that place. They can tell you to stay on the public sidewalk or on public property. Uh, you they might say you can come in and protest in the government building, but only during working hours. That's a time restriction, manner restriction. As we saw with AVA, they told him his sign was too big, which was kind of bullshit. And I think if the right people were to challenge that, they would win. Um, but to say that like you can't, no, get out of here, cat. You can't like stand with a bullhorn. That's a manner restriction. So that's the only restrictions you can have to the First Amendment. Um, but you have the right to assemble. And here's the thing: if they do anything, in most cases, you have the strongest. Um, what am I trying to say? The strongest footing because these have been so litigated. Um, and you see, that's what a lot of these First Amendment auditors do. And I know a lot of people don't like them, but the First Amendment auditors are doing a great service to everyone. So, uh, they're really helping uh, us keep our rights. Uh, but if you're going to protest, here's what I would say: have a civil rights attorney advise you beforehand and have their phone number ready. So if something happens, you can call them. And there are some civil rights attorneys. And if you do that ahead of time, you're actually more likely to have uh, a lawyer in your back. A lot of these auditors don't have an attorney right away. That's what the angry vet Tav, who comes in here. That's why his organization that he started, Scars, is so great because he's trying to have attorneys right there that auditors can contact. So the attorney can be like, okay, if you're going to do this, make sure you stay within these rules because if it just makes it easier for that attorney to know that he's going to be defending an easy case or bringing an easy case later on. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit behind in the chat here. I like the I like the coffees in the morning because I can really get through your guys' chats and talk about what you want to talk about. Only one thing bigger than Texas and here, and that's the attitude. Are you in Texas, Tim? I didn't know it. Tim, we need to. I enjoyed talking with you the other day. We need to uh, get together offline a little bit more. I think. You and Paul. Oh God, what is this? Uh, Sorry, I'm reading something here. Okay, okay, interesting. Oh, Tim lives in the Panhandle of Florida. Okay, my one friend lives in Biloxi, and we're I will be going out there at some point. I've never been to New Orleans. I've never been to Mississippi. I've never been to Alabama. So I think we're going to try to hit up all those. We might even head to Pensacola. My brother used to live in Pensacola and I never got out there. Uh, I hear it's a lovely city, though. He worked for one of the news organizations out there. He doesn't do it anymore. To your corner, slug. We should protest Georgie because she won't let us set things on fire. No, I didn't have a stroke. I was just reading. Those of us that live in states with qualified immunity, like Texas, usually have no legal right to stand on regards to civil rights. Qualified immunity is all over, Angry Yeti. It's national. It's not state by state. No, you do have a right. The key is to know before you protest, know what your rights are, and that's why I say you should talk to a civil rights attorney ahead of time, and it's actually pretty good to have them on retainer if you can afford it. And there are places that will help with that, because that attorney can be like, okay, this, and this, and if the cops show up and they do this, that breaks qualified immunity, and it becomes an easy lawsuit. The problem with qualified immunity is if the police break it and you do a lawsuit, the department's going to settle or the city's going to settle. So the problem with that is there's no case law. So it's only in those cases where the city doesn't acknowledge that they're wrong or pay that, there's no settlement. And because of no settlement, there ends up not being anything long-term, like no case law, no history of it. So that is a bit of a problem. The good thing is you've won and you got your settlement. And the one is Jeff, I'm drawing a blank, Honor Your Oath Investigations. He's the guy that stands up with the sign that says, God bless the homeless veterans. And my first, 4th, 5th, 10th, and 14th, and 88s were violated in one encounter. I had no attorney will touch it. Reach out to me. I would happily like to hear your story, Angry Yeti. That's what we do. That is what me and TC do. TC does do some auditing a little bit, but we are trying to amplify stories like yours, like what Blind Justice has gone through. Blind Justice is a blind veteran, and the stuff he's been through is ridiculous. Like, they took his hearing aids. The VA police took his hearing aids. What? Why would you ever need to do that as a cop? And this is why you should film your encounters. As soon as something's going on, pull out your phone, start filming. The only thing I will say, if you start filming, be prepared for people to get violent, because they'll think that you can't do that and that they need to assert themselves. That will happen. So just know. But if you start filming yourself, and you're like, okay, well, like they're going to be less apt to touch you. It still could occur. But you saw with that one guy where he was blind and he had his he was partially blind. He had his walking stick, and the cop told him it was she took it away from him and told him it was a weapon. That's an easy lawsuit. Easy lawsuit. That cop should have de-escalated, and then actually, let's see if we can find that. That cop should have de-escalated and would have realized, oh, this is for a man who's blind or partially blind. Here. This might not be the original, but it is one.
What's this in your back pocket? I saw you walking it.
The navigational aids. What's the problem? You a tyrant?
Shocking body camera video shows deputies arrest a legally blind man walking back from jury duty with a walking stick.
What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless
Yes, sir. I was investigating.
You have reasonable.
Do you want me to put you in handcuffs right now? Yes, sir, I do.
It happened on October 31st in Columbia County, Florida. Body camera video shows.
Okay, here's the first thing. The dude's just walking down the street. Cops, they can stop and talk to you, but they cannot stop and start demanding things of you. Like this isn't Nazi Germany. You don't have to show your papers. You have the freedom to travel. This guy is very knowledgeable about his rights. He says, "Do you have reasonable articulable suspicion I've committed a crime?" They can stop you if they believe you've committed a crime. They can do an investigatory stop, but they have to be able to say, "Yes, I suspect you of committing this crime." Now, once they say that, they do have the right to detain you. And as every lawyer will tell you, you should just shut the hell up right there. Just be like, "I'm invoking my 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment rights." A lot of people like to talk and argue with the cops, unfortunately.
Those deputies interacting with 61-year-old James Hodges, who was carrying a walking stick in his back.
And he identified what it was. That's the other thing. He was trying to remove this cop's suspicion that was any type of weapon. So he was doing the right thing.
Pocket. According to the video, responding deputies at first believed it was a gun.
What is your suspicion?
It looks like you're carrying a gun in your back pocket. I'm stopping to make sure you're carrying it properly.
Have you ensured that it's not a firearm?
No, you keep turning so I can't see it. You don't have to be a to me.
Well, you're being one to me.
Video shows Hodges refusing to give out his name.
Once he showed that it wasn't a gun, first off, depending on the state, some states have open carry, and you can carry a weapon all day long. So I don't know what state this is, and if this is an open carry state. But right there, he assuaged all of her suspicion. She said, "Okay, it's not a gun. Sorry, and be on your way. Sorry about this." That's what should happen.
Name, date of birth, or ID card. He then calls for the responding.
Yeah, now she's trying to identify him. She's trying to identify him after the reason for the investigatory stop is now done. It is not a gun. She should let him go. But instead, she's trying to ID him, which is against the 4th Amendment.
Deputy's supervisor.
No, sir, I'm doing my job.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Do you have a crime?
Would you like me
Call
to
your
put
supervisor,
you in? He's right
please.
here.
The supervising deputy again asks for Hodges' ID, but he refuses.
What'd she stop you for? For a walking stick. And it could look like a weapon. She asked you to present it, okay? Now she's asking me for ID. Okay. I don't need the ID unless there's reasonable articulated suspicion that I have committed a crime and committing a crime or about to do a crime. Sir, and her suspicion was that you were armed, okay? And she's asking you for your ID. Well, now she has verified that I am not armed. Okay. So there is no problem. Do you have your ID or not? I do have my ID, but you don't need it.
After
in most states, there are times where you have to be ID or you have to ID. For instance, in California, if I get pulled over, I have no choice. Even if I think that stop is bullshit, I have to produce an ID. I legally have to. However, if I'm walking down the street here, I don't have to. You have to provide proper identification in all states if you are arrested. And that's what I would say if I were in. I'd be like, if you're arresting me, that's when I will provide my ID. Yeah. People don't see these cops being tyrants. These two cops are absolutely tyrants. You can't just stop and harass people walking down the road. They should just said, "Hey, sir, is that a gun?" If they legally could, depending on the state. And when he pulled it out and said, "No, it's not." Okay, sorry, didn't mean to bother you. Okay. Yeah.
For that, Hodges is handcuffed.
Right here, this is illegal. This right here, right now, they are breaking qualified immunity. I guarantee you, because of this moment right here, this guy has gotten money from the department or the state or something, because now it is 100% an unlawful detainment. They have no reason to hold him. ID in most cases is a secondary. They have no reason to keep him stopped. He's assuaged all of their investigatory concerns that he was not holding a weapon.
That's when Hodges confirms that he is legally blind and carries the navigational aid to help him when walking. He also tells deputies he was stopped while walking back from jury duty.
Sir, you legally blind? Yes, I am. Okay. I had to walk up here in the dark for jury duty, which was canceled. Why aren't you using your stick? You don't have to use your stick all the time? Not all the time.
After Hodges' ID card is retrieved, the supervising officer orders.
That's one thing I do want to address, because I fall under this. I am a disabled person. Your whatever aids that you have for your disability, like for me, it's my service dog. You only need it when you need it. You don't have to have it. I don't have to take my dog 24/7. Look at her being lazy, laying on that bed. I don't need her 24/7. There are times where I absolutely need her. There are times where I don't. It's an aid. And if I don't need it at that time and that thing, I don't, there's no law that says I have to have it with me. And I've had people argue that. They're like, you have to have your dog with you at all times. That's how I know your dog's not a service dog. I'm like, nothing ever states that. You are completely bullshitting.
He be taken into custody for resisting an officer and obstruction.
All right, Mr. Hodges. Was that hard?
It's going to be. I want your name and your badge number. You know what? Put him in jail for resisting.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Resisting is a secondary charge. Resisting arrest. He wasn't under arrest, or not lawfully under arrest. So all these actions that they do after that moment I stopped it, everything is illegal and harassment.
I want your name and badge number too, sir.
Hodges is then placed in the back of a squad car.
You want to pull this out of my back pocket?
Sure. Here, I'll grab your jacket for you, too.
The Columbia County Sheriff's Office released a statement saying Sheriff Mark Hunter is, quote, troubled by what he has seen in the video and the matter is being addressed. An administrative investigation into the incident began on November 3rd, when officials say they were made aware of the situation. The statement also reads in part, quote, if policy violations are sustained at the conclusion of that investigation, appropriate action will be taken. Law and Crime Network reached out to the Columbia County Sheriff's Office for additional comment, but were told to refer to the online statement. For the latest developments in this story and all things true crime, stay with Law and Crime Network. I'm Sierra Gillespie.
Hey, did you know you might get a big cash payout if you were in a car accident last year?
That whole interaction, all of it illegal. All of it illegal. Florida. So that was in Florida. There is no open carry in Florida unless you're going to and from fishing, hunting, or camping. Obviously, that guy wasn't going. So the cop did initially have a right to stop him and say, do you have a weapon in your back pocket? As soon as he produced it and said, it's a navigational aid, you can see it's not a gun, it's not a knife. At that point, the stop should have ended and been allowed to go on his way. The cops are told you have to get ID. You have to get ID. Because what are they doing? As soon as they get ID, they run your background to see if you have warrants. Well, guess what? If they don't have reasonable articulable suspicion for that detainment, and then they run your ID, that is an illegal search. It's an illegal search of you. The cops can't just search people. They can't just sit at their desk and say, I'm going to look up this person's record and start doing it. Can't do it at all. It's an illegal search, and it violates their policies and violates their laws. So that's why I was saying earlier, the stop might not have been illegal. It turns out the initial stop was legal in Florida, but the moment he produced and showed that he had that he didn't have a weapon, they should have just let him go because the reason for the stop was done. And Yeti, and here's the other thing. This is why the police, if you see the police stop someone, you have the right to record them. This is why I'm against that Florida law, and I think that Florida law saying that people have to stay 25 feet away. This is why I think that law is going to be determined to be illegal, because now, obviously, me filming, I can't walk up and interfere with the stop. But if I'm quietly filming from like 10 feet away, so I can hear everything that's going on, because that person might not have a camera. The person being stopped might not have a camera or a way to record the stop. So I should be allowed to record it for them. We have every right uh, to record government employees in the course of their duties, and police are government employees. Yeah, where no matter where you are, who you're with, if you feel like you might need proof on your side, video record. And here's the thing: people will say, "You need my permission." It's a two-party state. No, you don't. If you're in public, you do not need permission. Here's the other thing: if you have a reasonable belief that a crime might be committed, or that you have to document it for personal some personal reasons, you can still record and it be legal as long as it's going to be for your personal video. Like I'm not recording to broadcast this. Like in AVA's case, he records because he's got a TBI. He's not going to remember. He needs to record for his own personal health because he won't remember what they say. But yet he gets the VA police who then threaten to arrest him and end up harassing him every time he goes in. Willing to share my story with best as a side note, I'll definitely record any encounters in the future. So I'm on X veteran_nation. Here, I'll show you. So I'm on X, and with X, you can actually call me. Why is this? Oh, sorry. X is doing things weird now. So this is my X account. I do have Veteran Nation Foundation on Facebook. Let's see that one. You're giving me a good chance to plug all my stuff. Thank you. So this is our Veteran Nation Foundation thing. Don't want that up. And we also have a Facebook group on here. And then also, yeah, I'll close that. Down below, you'll see I have our email account and also our hotline. So you can contact, yeah. So here's our Facebook group. Here's our hotline number. It's bald 951 vet. And we also have our email down there. So whatever way you want to contact us, and if you Minnesota Black Robe Regiment is TC's show. If you would much rather go on to his show and talk about it and not come on with me, that's fine. I don't care. It's your story. You should go with whoever you're the most comfortable telling it. Yeah, Veteran Nation at Proton Mail is our email. This cat. One thing I do have is I have our gong, and I think I'm going to, if anything is slightly racist, we'll bang the gong. The gong of racial equality. I've had this for a while, and I was trying to think of what we can do with it. I know other shows do like a ding, and I do have a ding on here. They do that when it's racist, but I'm like, you know what? No, we'll do the gong of racial equality. Oh, I see we got PJ on Restream. Thank you so much, and good morning. Yeah, they train the cops that way. They train the cops that they have to get ID. And the cops will lie to you and say, "Oh, I need your ID." No, they do not. If they don't have a legal reason to stop you, and they have to articulate that legal reason. Suspicion is not a crime. So if they say suspicion, not a crime. That is not a legal reason to get your ID. Um, Now, for me in California, is if I get pulled over, I have agreed to the state of California that if I get pulled over, I have to produce my ID. Not every state is like that. So know your state. A lot of people go to other states and assume the laws are the same. And I'll tell you one auditor who I've seen do that, who I do love, is New Hampshire Press now. He does all over New England, but he's made some mistakes about the laws in some states. About like I'll tell you, it's because in New Hampshire, if they have their body cameras on, they have a legal obligation because it's a two-party state. So the cops have a legal obligation to let you know that they are recording you. Now, here's the thing: once they say that they're recording you, it's done. I watched a veteran waiting at the ER removed for not wearing a mask as he was drinking coffee. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm telling you guys, go on to AVA's channel. Like AVA has a whole playlist. Here, I'll show you his channel, and we're trying to boost his watch time so he can be monetized. But that is so much of what he's been through. Here, I'll show you. This is his channel. So this is AVA's channel. This is what he's dealt with. So go watch his videos because it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, the stuff that he's gone through. And he needs to record. He's got TBI. Like, they acknowledge that he's got TBI. You've got 10 acres and 29 palms. What a small world. Awesome. I want to buy more stuff out here. I'm doing what it takes to buy more land out here. This base is going to be growing in the next 10 years. Only Marine Corps base that's going to grow. So, Val, if I were you, there's already a shortage of rental property. I would start looking at things that you can do with your land. I bought this house with the intent that I'm not going to live here forever. It will be a rental property. Everyone, please give to Uncle Frank's family. I'm putting the link in there again. Boom, there you guys go. Make sure you donate. Just give Uncle Frank's family just a couple bucks. We're up to 175. He was a Vietnam vet. Helped a lot of people, and they want to continue that. So we're going to try to get them the money so that they can do stuff. Also, go to they started YouTube. They're almost to the point. They're almost to the 500. Once they get to 500, we have to just get them the 1,000 hours of watch time, and they'll be monetized. It won't take them that long to get that. A veteran is their motto to serve and protect. Here's the thing: don't hold too much stock in the mottos, because trust me, people will break their mottos all day long. Like, yeah, if you're expecting them to hold on to their motto, like, that's not going to work out well. A lot of these people just, they'll say that's PR. That's all that is. 4,000, buddy. 4,000 what? Yeah, it's power corrupts. Look up the Stanford prison experiment. That was an experiment where they made a fake prison, and it was all students, and they said, "Okay, you guys are the guards, you guys are the prisoners." And then they just sat back, and they would give them like very what do I say? Very overarching orders on what to do. And very quickly, that power went to their head, and like it got physically abusive. And that was in the 60s, 50s or 60s. But that's where we know a lot about, a lot of stuff. about this stuff. That's why it's such a shame that TC went through what he did as a correctional deputy, because he cares about people. And I saw this with Marines. 4,000 watch hours. Okay, Mr. Coop, sorry. I was like, 4,000 what? Subscribers? I thought it was 3,000, but I'm wrong a lot. But there are two types of people who go into these positions of authority: cops, military, correctional deputies. They are people who want to help, people who want to, well, I shouldn't say two types of people. There's people who want to help, people who want to serve, and bullies. I met a ton of bullies in the military, a ton of them. You don't think there's bullies in the military? Absolutely, they are. There's a ton of them. That's why I think every police unit should have body cameras. They should make them wear body cameras. I think turning them off should be considered evidence tampering. There's no reason to turn, like, all that video can be edited later, like, terms of a FOIA request. There's no reason to mute a body cam. There's no reason to turn off a body cam. Like, that's just, it's tampering with evidence is what that is. So that should not be allowed. But what the thing is, it brings transparency. And, people are like, don't you back the blue? No, I don't buy into that that idea of backing the blue. You'll never see a thin blue line flag on anything of mine. And my grandfather was a police officer, so I have a lot of respect for police officers. However, I know that there are bad ones out there, and the problem is we would expect the good ones to speak up. Sadly, it rarely ever happens. Rarely ever happens. And until we start getting transparency, it's not going to happen. I guarantee you that video we just watched, those cops they're going to have, like, that guy's going to get money. He's 100% going to get money. They're not going to want to, and that's going to be taxpayer money. That's the other thing. I think these police unions should have to pay that. If they're protecting these cops, which they do, it's a union. But if these cops do something wrongdoing and the union chooses to protect them, okay, the union should be the one ponying up at least a portion of the money. It shouldn't be all on the taxpayers. But that blind guy is going to get money. That was not qualified immunity. And I guarantee you, if it went in front of a judge, 9 times out of 10, qualified immunity will be denied. If not denied, it will be appealed and then denied. Look at Travis Hines. Have you guys ever been to Travis Hines' page? He's been, for 2 years, he's been in a battle with Natchitoches, Louisiana. And he was inside of a library, just in there on the computer. And they didn't like him being in there because he's essentially homeless. He lives in his car, travels all around the country. The library had a problem with him in there, so they called the cops. He was very rough, arrested because they said that he was looking at pornography. He wasn't. They've never produced anything, and he's been found guilty of disorderly conduct. He's been fighting it, appealing it, got himself a new trial, but it's been 2 years, and this is a guy on a fixed income. He's homeless. Why are they fighting this so bad? It's because those cops had no right to arrest him. Eventually, Travis is going to be successful. But go watch that video. Go watch his channel. Okay, I do. Okay, I'll respond to your message. I'm accepting it. Okay. So yeah, and here's the thing, you can call me. You can physically call me on X. So after I do this, if you want to call me today, feel free. Yeah, I heard she was crying. They're breaking her by asking about the money, but she says no one ever asked for a breakdown of money. Everyone's been asking for a breakdown. I was saying that it was embezzlement months ago. Like, And here's the thing. You should be able to break down that money. Now, if she says, here's the thing, she's not a 501c3. I have people who are like, oh, I want to see a breakdown of your thing. And I'm like, okay, go to the IRS and get it. Go to the IRS. It's public record. I had a guy try to tell me I had to keep it on my website. I was like, no, I don't. No, I don't. He did. That's someone who does not know the rules for 501c. Like, I don't even have to have a website. And my website is at the merchandise store. I FOIA requested the VA, the body cam footage. The VA muted the entire video except my voice. Yeah, see, that's ridiculous. Get me the FOIA request number on that, and I'll FOIA it, and then I'll appeal it as well. Body cam should be on. Yeah, exactly, for the whole shift at 100%. That's how we root out the bad cops. And you think these police institutions would be all for getting rid of the bad cops? You know, bad cops make it harder for good cops to do their jobs. And here's the other thing. If they have their body cams on, then you have proof of the good cops doing good stuff. And you should be able to put that out and highlight it. You know? It's ridiculous. Now I know how to prank call you. Please do. We've got the hotline. Prank call the hotline. I love when I get prank calls. It's hilarious. I've shown them on the show before. The Washington Post. Oh my God, they are ridiculous. I'm going to show this real quick. The president-elect Donald Trump's longstanding threats to place conditions on California wildfire aid are gaining traction with Republicans and infuriating Democrat leaders who said such actions would be unprecedented. Quit screwing up these fires then. Quit screwing it up. Yeah, I want California to have to answer. They keep fucking it up. Sorry for the language. I have a chihuahua snoring. I've got conspiracy kitties in my lap. And of course, there's the dog. Yeah, they're like, oh, are you on stream? Give me attention. All day long when I'm around here, they don't want attention. I try to give them attention. The dog will take the attention all day long. The cat, if I try to like pick him up and pet him, nope, he wants down. Let me start doing something. Hey, come pet me. I was doing dishes yesterday, and he jumped up on the counter and was like trying to get in between. And he hates my hands being wet. So I'm like, okay, I'll pet you. And he's like, It's like, what? Don't, Georgie, we got a prank call. Hey, by all means, if it's funny, I'll play it. They also went after Megan for suing Chicago Library after letting pee happen there right in front of everyone. She mocked, saying that's Megan's MO. So I saw a little bit about this, but I'll admit I don't know the whole thing. I've been falling behind and watching people. So yeah. Oh, Glory is spoiled. Glory is spoiled. She's laying on the bed like how she does when we go to a hotel and we travel. This is like first thing, she's up on the bed, refuses to leave the bed. Like I have to put her leash on her to take her out potty. She's like, no, we're in a hotel. I'm relaxing. Yeah, you're a princess, aren't you? Pretty little princess. She's laying down. She's looking at me. She's giving that side eye like that. Like, I know you're talking about me. You're funny. 20 minutes until Georgie and Coop. Yeah, Everyone, please watch this. Please watch this. This is AVA's video. Share this with your congressional representatives, especially the ones who are on the Veteran Affairs Committee. Congressman Mike Bost out of Illinois is the chair. Please send it to him. Send it to him and say, this is what's wrong with our VA. Yep, Escaping Evil. He's got a whole playlist on it. Please watch it. Please do. That she heard 55,000, thought Megan had to pay. She was dumbfounded that Megan won, and that's where these ones, like, why are these people listening to them about court stuff? They have no clue. Why are you listening to anyone? There's a lot of people out there talking about this court stuff, and they just push incorrect information. If I don't know, I'll say, I think it's this, but I don't know. I'll be the first one. And I'm also the first one to admit that I'm wrong. But there are people out there saying, no, it's this. And they have no clue. Like, no clue. And there are people who will, like, die on that hill. They keep sending me stuff saying, no, this is, and it's like, no, that doesn't apply. Like, saying that, like, people saying, oh, no, there's a homestead exception in Florida, so they can't take Lynette's property. That's Florida law. It's Florida law. There are ways around that. There absolutely are. You don't think there are? There are. So, yeah. People can sue for anything. That's the other thing. Oh, here's a Florida story. Is this Coop? Coop, is this your house? Florida homeowner who built his skinny home out of spite reveals why it's a great investment. Spite homes, I love the idea of spite homes. So, for those of you looking for Mr. Coop to dox him, this is Mr. Coop's house. Don't you like how I go from Mr. Coop, is this your house, to, oh, it's your house? Glory needs groomed. That's what she needs. I have to take her and get her groomed. So far, I know a lot of people are talking about these confirmation hearings. Everyone that I'm seeing is going to get confirmed. It's going to happen. Okay, here's my troll. So here's my troll. Mel Mar, right here, has been asking all about the nonprofit and is just trolling. And the thing is, I'm like, go check with the IRS. But here he doesn't like because I've just been trolling him with memes because he responded to this meme up here. But yeah, he hated this meme, so now he's doing that. So that's my troll. I want to build a house out of sea containers. You can do it. It's not as easy as people say. I read Boss Bill. It would codify the same eligibility metrics that the VA is currently using to circumvent the Mission Act. Here's the thing. All these bills, like, are being written by lobbyists. And if you don't think that the VA, like, writes these bills and says to the congressman, hey, do these. I don't freak out about bills until they're, like, up for vote. Because when a bill is in process, lots of things change. Here's the thing. Contact Boss and tell him that bill is bullshit. Absolutely contact him. Because they won't, a lot of times the congressman doesn't even know. Because you got to think, their aides receive this. They're the ones that really go through it. These Congress people, they don't read the freaking bills. And I know people are like, oh, I want to put in a law that says they have to. Stop. It's never going to happen. Even if you put that law, the constitutionality of that is suspect, and there's going to be ways around it. So yeah, all you have to do is write a letter to them. You can send an email. Handwritten letter is the best. It is absolutely the best because they cannot deny that a person was behind that letter. Yeah, write that letter to them and tell them that's bullshit. If you want me to, I'll happily do it. Was that on the Veteran Nations X? Yeah. Mel is trolling me on the X account. So, apparently I shamed the military. Do we think that Mel has ever served? Yeah, I guarantee they haven't. I don't see anything that says veteran in the way they post or talk. I can normally spot the veterans. It's funny when I'm out in town and I'll be at like Target or something, I can pick up the veterans. I was out at Dollar General last night and there was like 5 people in there shopping, one guy in line, and I was like, that guy's not just a veteran, that guy's a Marine. You just learn. We all have mannerisms. Megan won the defamation case against the CP library. The flea thought it was backwards. She had to pay. Not true. She got 0.55 GR. Well, the laughter stopped when she found out Megan won. Yeah. Here's the thing. A lot of journalists, if they've been doing their job for a while, they tend to really understand the law, especially as it applies to the First Amendment. There are some out there that will screw things up. Like I see a lot of journalists screwing up the Second Amendment, but it's because they don't come in contact with it. Megan knows a lot about court. I will say that. Like I have picked that up from her. She knows a lot about court. Now here's the downside of me moving the computer over here. The sun's going to be in my eyes, but I do have curtains up, so it's not going to be too bad. Like I can stand this. If you guys can stand the sun being on my face. She's going to tear up my bed. This is what she does to tear up my bed. This is the itchiest dog ever. I do have to give you your pill this morning. She gets from her food, she gets yeast infections, and that's why she's always itchy. So yeah, I give her a probiotic. It does help. She used to do this all day long, like all day long, and it was incessant, like nonstop. We got 53 people watching on X. Thank you everyone for being here. They obviously did not watch the thing they showed. They watched the first 5 minutes and they saw they were against Megan and went with it. Yeah. So this is what you see with people. They make a judgment, a snap judgment, and they don't really look into it. And yeah, like for me, had you told me Megan was involved in a case, I would have said, she probably won. She knows enough about court. And I didn't know anything about this. You guys are educating me live as we go. Which, by the way, I need to set up our redirect. So I'm going to right now. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube, yeah, this is going to redirect. Where is my live? Let me refresh. It's not showing on YouTube in the studio. There it is. Okay. Loudest itcher. Okay. Close. I think we're going to redirect to Georgie today. All right. In the wrong spot. Yep. There we go. Does Georgie have it set up? There's Squid. Squid's live right now? Freedom Flock is live. I don't see one for Georgie. Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go to Georgie's after this. So if you're on YouTube, just know we're going to raid Georgie. They obviously did not watch the thing they should. Yep, they didn't. Yeah, everyone please hit the like. If you're on X, please retweet this. I do appreciate it if you do. My friend Astrid, she asked how many veterans receive care outside the VA instead of being seen at the VA hospitals, clinics due to its negligence. And the choice is I go to the VA, I go to a civilian doctor. I go to a civilian doctor. In fact, I need to set one up. He's going to yell at me. I just know it. I have lost weight, though, since I saw him last. I have lost at least 5 pounds, probably closer to 10. I'm just looking through the X account right now. Nothing too big. Oh, it doesn't show it. It doesn't show the stickers properly. Yeah, see, AVA got gifted a membership, and now he's showing it off. He's bragging. Our members live video that we did on Sunday. Oh, there she is. There's Astrid. She's a Navy veteran. Yes. The stream that's members only that was members only on Sunday. That's going to come out this coming Sunday. It'll be public for everyone, so you'll be able to watch it. It's about a woman who's she's helping the J6 prisoners. So we did a full interview with her, and I created a short already that's going to go out. I've got content ready for tomorrow. Got content ready for Friday. I got to do something for Saturday. And then I'll definitely have a live on Sunday. Definitely subscribe to AVA as well. AVA and Yoda, subscribe. I'm looking at the time. We got 10 minutes before Coop and Georgie go live. I lost my... Where's my Facebook? I lost my link to that. Yeah, tomorrow I've got a video where I talk about Tim Kennedy. He's a Navy SEAL, and he's a Navy SEAL, and he also is an MMA fighter. You may have seen him on Joe Rogan. Well, he's coming under fire for things that he said in his book, so I talk about that. All these people on the what the hell side just suddenly started going after one another. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Yeah. Like, I'm not jumping into that. Like, when this drama starts, my reaction is to pull away. Angry Vet, what's up? We were talking about you this morning. We were talking about scars. Welcome. We're also promoting AVAs at 827 subscribers, but we need his watch hours up. Try to talk him into doing a live with you so we can get his watch hours up. Yeah, we because we want to get him monetized. But yeah, like a lot of these people are just going back and forth, just fighting each other over bullshit. Tim Kennedy is a joke. Yeah, and you'll see in the video tomorrow, he put his book, and apparently, like, people that he served with are saying it's a lot of it's bullshit. In fact, they said a lot of it is attached. A lot of the stuff he says in the book are actually parts of movies, which I addressed the whole thing. There's a lot of veterans out there who are bullshitters. I'm telling you right now. Like, there's a lot of them out there. And they do this because they think they have to, because being tied to a vet is a thing, and then they get this machismo where they have to outdo the other person. It happens. It's that's just what it is. But yeah, like, for me, don't buy into any of these people's persona. Like, even mine. When you see the skipper is a character. The skipper, like, is a part of Mike Arthur. But there was a reason why I said when I started the show, no, I want to be the skipper, because I can play things up for the show. Like, if I tell stories, I'll make it a little bit more entertaining. It'll be a real story, but it'll be like, I might change, like, inflection on stuff and whatnot to make it a little bit more entertaining. But it's not going to be complete bullshit. Like, if someone were to call me out, I'd be like, oh no, this story involves these people, and they'll verify it. And they would. But yeah, there's a lot of people, as soon as you're done with appeal stuff, no worries. We totally understand. Everyone should go check out. You want to talk about ending qualified immunity? Take a look at AVA, or take a look at Tav's videos. He was in the VA and arrested for wiretapping for pulling out his phone and taping. That's not wiretapping. That is an abuse of the law. And he's going to be successful eventually. It's just going to cost him a lot of money and effort. And that's what's bullshit about this. And this is why we need to get more civil rights attorneys on board with auditing, even before the auditing starts. I know a lot of people hate on, I guess, some kind of jealousy, which isn't cool. Yeah. There is a lot of people, and I would say it's because if Tim Kennedy lied, it's because of that shit. Like, it's okay if you're telling a funny story and you're gonna, make it a little bit funnier. I got it. But from what I understand, there was one story in there where he was saying that, like, he stood up to his OIC and was, being an NCO who, yelled at the officer type of thing. That, I would say, that's kind of like enlisted porn. But the officer said, yeah, that never happened. That was all bullshit. Never happened at all. And has specifically talked to Tim Kennedy, who admitted it didn't happen and won't take it out of the book or won't address it publicly. If you're just straight up lying and straight up bullshit, yeah, you need to address that. Rather call you Skipper than Flipper, like the blunderbutts. They can call me whatever the fuck they want. They're not bothering me. Call me Flipper. Maybe. Oh, I need a dolphin sound with the flipper. Again, they don't bother me. They think they do. We bother them. And that's what's so funny about it. Yes, SCARS is the organization that the Angry Veteran has set up. Please go buy some of their merchandise and help them, because they're helping not just veterans, but people. That organization is about protecting our constitutional rights. But yeah, if Tim Kennedy's doing that stuff, he's going to have to address it. And that'll be in tomorrow's video. So I don't think I'll be doing a live tomorrow, but that video will go out at the time that I normally do a live. And it's not incredibly long. Definitely check it out. I think you guys will all enjoy it. I'd love to hear your comments about it. I do know Georgie and Coop are about to go live. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. And if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to be directed there. I will be available. I'll be on YouTube I'll be on X all day today. So if you need to get in touch with me, feel free to reach out. And as always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, on just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, on just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.